Gyre Prime, Mesa Prime, and not one, but two Dantes. 60 waves of Infested Arbitration Defense. This is what peak squad synergy looks like. Right up until the moment our own defense target decides he's done fighting and wants to be a hero. No! Wait!
Your job well executed.
Welcome back, Tano. Today we're taking on one of the most stressful high-stakes endurance challenges in all of Warframe. A 50-minute, 60-wave Infested Arbitration Defense run. Now, if you played Arbitrations before, you already know the deal. There are no standard revives. Enemies scale into the high hundreds, and arbitration drones float around, making whole rooms completely immune to your abilities and weapons. But we went in stacked. I was running Gyre Prime, we had the Mesa Prime for total room vaporization, and two Dantes, giving everybody tens of thousands of overguard. For the first half, it felt like smooth sailing. Then, on wave 33, Mesa decided she's had enough and extracted, leaving me alone with two bookworms and a suicidal Hexis operative. But before we talk about how this operative almost ruined 50 minutes of my life, let's look at the build that allowed my Gyre to throw lightning for almost an hour without recasting a single ability. Okay, not a single ability, but the third and fourth. Alright, let's look at the engine behind this build. Infinite Duration. Gyre's third ability, Cathode Grace, and fourth ability, Rotor's Well, are her bread and butter. Normally you have to keep recasting them, but thanks to the augment mode right here, Cathode Current, every single time an enemy dies while affected by Rotor's Well, it extends the duration of both abilities by up to 4 seconds and triggers an extra shockwave. Because we are running 235 ability range using Overextended and Archon Stretch, the moment an infested monster steps into the same zip code as me, they get struck by light, die, and feed my ability timers. I literally pressed 3 and 4 once at wave 1 and that stayed active for 50 straight minutes without turning off. Okay, not 50 straight minutes, I did fall a couple of times out of the map, so that was my fault. Nah, fuck that, fuck gravity, it was gravity's fault, come on. Now, you might notice my second ability isn't Gyre's base skill, her second is decent for grouping, but at higher levels I want raw, unfiltered damage, force multiplication. So I replaced it with Rhino's Roar, of course, like every fucking Warframe. Roar acts as a universal faction damage buff in double dips that double dips on electric statistics. And to make sure Roar and Rotors will hit like a freight train, I am running Blind Rage paired with Intensified Precision. Intensify gives a massive 90% ability stretch, especially to her fourth ability. This completely offsets a overextended strength penalty and boosts our chain lightning damage into the sky. Here's my Exceltra build. Now you're probably asking, SerLorin, you're running 45 efficiency with Blind Rage, how are you not consistently out of energy? Great question. First, Archon Stretch. Whenever our electric procs deal damage, which is literally every millisecond, Archon Stretch gives us 2 energy per second recharge. Second, our Archon Shards, 3 Umber Shards for casting speed and 2 blue ones for maximum energy and shield capacity. For survivability, we run Prime Redirection, 440% shields paired with fast deflection for rapid shield recovery, gating, top it off with Molt Augmented for 60% extra strength on kills, and Gyre becomes an immortal, self-sustaining electrical storm. I also have Arcane Circumvent because every time you roll through an Eximus unit you get 10,000 overguard, I think? Yeah, overguard. Now let's get into the action. Waves 1 through 20. In Arbitrations you aren't defending a frozen pot. You're babysitting an Arbiters of Hexis operative who thinks walking around with a pistol makes him invincible. Early on our squad synergy was unreal. The two Dantes kept our overguard capped at around 3,000 plus. No, around 70,000. If you don't know why overguard is king in arbitration, it prevents knockdowns, ignores status effects, and acts as a massive health barrier. Meanwhile, Mesa Prime set up pacemaker turrets to shred heavy units, and I was on Gyre just running around and deleting entire spawns before they could even move. And arbitrations give you rewards every 3 waves, so in 60 waves we got 20 full reward rotations. That is ridiculous amount of vitus essence, endo, and rare mods. But the main menace in Infested Arbitrations is the arbitration drone. These floating red nuisances make all nearby enemies 100% immune to Warframe abilities and damage. Since my chain lightning can't touch tethered enemies, my main job was sniping those drones with my Exceltra Prime. The literal
Ya Allah!
Literally.
Literally.
Literal microsecond the drone dies, 40 stacked electric procs trigger instantly and evaporate the entire room. On wave 33, our Mesa decided 11 rotations was enough and hit extraction, so now it's just me and 2 Dantes holding down the fort with for next 27 waves. Now, Infested are usually considered the easiest faction, but at high levels they become terrifying because of 2 words: toxin damage. Toxin ignores shields and completely hits your actual health bar. If Dante's overguard drops for even half a second, a single toxic ancient aura can fold you like a lawn chair. By wave 45, enemy density is absurd, but our duo Dante setup was holding it together. With 2 Dantes constantly spamming Triumph versus, our overguard was basically infinite, and my Molt Augmented was fully stacked at 60% strength. Now look at this guy here, look at what he's doing. We are at wave 58, enemy levels are through the roof, and instead of staying behind our Dante shields in the main room, this absolute fucking genius decides he's James fucking Bond 007.
Dry martini.
Oui, monsieur.
Wait. 3 measures of Gordon's, 1 of vodka, half a measure of quinoa lily, shake it over rice, and then add a thin slice of lemon peel.
He literally runs around, walks down a narrow hallway and charges head first into a choke point packed with venomous Eximus, toxic ancients and 3 fucking arbitration drones. His health bar stopped dropping like a stone, and remember, in arbitrations, if this guy dies, the mission fails immediately. 50 minutes of work gone. Pure panic. I bullet jump into the wall, slap roar to boost our damage and start shooting at blank space because I already see the mission failed on my screen. Thankfully, Dante slides in right behind me as operative's health hits literally 5%, Mesa wasn't there anymore, so it was set up Gyre's electric balls, I mean shockwaves, to clear 40 infested trapped in a tiny 5-meter tunnel. We saved him with a sliver of health left. I promise you, this boy is definitely going back to Hexes and telling his friends that he carried 3 prime Warframes to level 60. We basically held him hostage in a corner for the last 2 waves just to make sure he didn't try anything stupid again, and finally hit wave 60 extraction. 60 waves cleared. 60 waves cleared, 20 rotations secured, 50 minutes on the clock, and a massive haul of Vitus Essence and Endo in the bank. Gyre Prime with infinite cathode current is an absolute blast for long endurance runs like this. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more returning player experience chaos, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment down below. What's your go-to frame for arbitrations? Until next time, stay safe, watch your defense targets, and happy hunting, Tano. Now if you will, enjoy the gameplay.